Okay, so I've got the level 2 ACE first years here from City College Brighton and Hove. Matt Potts, Sam Carey, Connor Hookway, Alfie Haven and Thoma Gkotza. So we're just going to go over our cycle 2 and see how we've gotten on technically, tactically, physically and mentally. Okay, so Sam, starting with you, can you tell us how well you've done with your tech and tack perhaps?
I've developed them really well. I've used the ring to the most of my ability, use the corners, use my opponent to try and get out of the corner, turn them, and I've done my guard's come on a lot better. I keep my backhand up, but it comes down to my chest a little bit, but that's about it.
Okay, so you feel you made good progress over there? Yeah. Over the last training cycle.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I agree. Sometimes when you're throwing that jab, your right hand does drop a little bit, the non-punching hand, but hands are a lot higher now. So it's just a case of continuing with that. Although you're going to go into new perhaps in your cycle 3, just continuing on that trend, making sure that your hands are high whenever you're throwing them. Yeah. Okay, Thoma, what about your tech and tack goals? How do you think you've gone?
I think it's gone better.
Mm-hmm.
I have more focus now because my weight control is better now.
Mm-hmm. But just tech and tack, so your foot rotation and your foot defences.
Yeah, it's better. I think one reason that it's better is my weight, because I have more power now, stamina, you know.
Okay, and how have you practiced your foot defences?
From the mirror, the pads.
Okay, can you give any specific examples of what sort of stuff you've done?
From just foot rotation, practical with pads.
Mm-hmm. The pads, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great, and you've had a bit of joy with that. So, okay, so we're working a lot on lateral movement, so you moving forwards and sideways rather than back too much, putting pressure on your opponent. Okay, and there's been some joy there. Okay, Max, what about you technically and tactically? How do you think you've got on?
Mine is hip rotation and change angles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm improved in my hip rotation. Been working in the mirror over there.
Sure.
And I've been working on doing 1-2s because I'm pretty good at doing hip rotation with the hook with me and Adam been working on it. But been improving doing the 1-2, changing with the hips. Okay,
great. So yeah, trying to drive your hips through and therefore your shoulders through as well.
Yeah.
What about the change of angle stuff?
The change of angles, I've been doing footwork, a lot of footwork, kind of ropes and turning. Trying to change direction of my opponent so they can't cut me off.
Yeah. What about stuff like on the pads with me in terms of the triangles?
Yeah, when you've been on the body shots, been going down to the left, pulling to the right, then coming out, throwing the jab, working that as a change angles. So yeah, I think it's been going good. Okay, so your feet aren't in the same place all the time? Yeah. Okay, yeah, so we're a lot looser now, starting to rely on our feet, on our legs rather than just our upper body all the time, because we're strong in the upper body, but we need to use those legs a lot more. Yeah. Just remember that those legs are bigger than your arms. Yeah. Okay. Con, what about yourself? Your technical and tack?
Mine, I've only got one. Mine's body shots, and I think I've improved a lot on that. I've been working on pads with you, on the mirror where the top part of the body's blocked off, so I can just focus on bending my knees.
Just from there.
And for example, I throw my left hook, make sure I drive in, bring back foot with me, lean over and drive up, right under the ribs. And yeah, I just think I've improved a lot after doing all the work on it.
So it's also helped you sort of soften up your knees a little bit more as well, so you're not so stiff with the legs.
My knees.
Okay, yeah, agree with that.
Standing up, punching downwards.
Absolutely, I agree with that. So rather than head hunting all the time, starting to bend the knees and going towards the body as well, which has helped soften his knees up and therefore help with his mobility in general. Okay, Alfie, what about you, tech and tack?
Mine was my range, edging into range, throwing shots, springing out, springing back in again with phases. I practice this by warm-ups, such as the S-shape rope on the floor, using my range throwing shots.
Okay, maybe able to see that on the ground, just about here. Okay.
Also with Adam on the pads, we've been working on that as well. And my other one was my foot defences. pivoting off, stepping off as people coming towards me, and counter punching.
Okay, and do you feel that you've managed to get different kind of angles in your shots now?
Yeah, definitely. When I'm sparring and stuff, I'm pivoting more as they come towards me and throwing shots and trying to step off when I can.
Okay, I'd say it's something that we're still going to keep focusing on in cycle 3, but there's been great improvements working at edge of range rather than out of range, which we've done too much of in cycle 2. So we really pushed in towards the end of cycle 2, I think, and started working really closely and changed up how we've done the pads a lot more. So I think there's been a lot of good progress there. Okay, Max, moving back to you. So your physical PAP, how have you developed your physical PAP? Okay, so you're working on your flexibility and your stretching.
Yeah, flexibility, been stretching 4 sessions, after sessions. It's sometimes a bit tight when I'm maybe sparring or just general pads. So I've been working on flexibility and stretches before and after to improve, because I didn't do it as much.
And have you seen any improvement on the sit and reach?
Yep, yeah, I feel that I get more of an edge on stuff, but I didn't think it was that important, but I realise now from how much I've come since I've been stretching flexibility.
And of course, injury management as well, power development as well, so it just help you with that extra range of motion.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam, your physical PAP?
Mine was agility. I think I've got much fitter since I started like working on it, because I couldn't do 3 rounds of sparring. Like I couldn't handle it. But now I can do about 6 like straight, and I've been doing lamppost sprints and just general jogs 3 times a week.
Okay, so we've had an issue with your knee, of course, which has got a lot better now.
Yeah.
So in terms of agility, that's kind of affected you in doing the SAQ and stuff. But in terms of your flexion, extension, your trunk movement, your bending in the knees, do you feel that's improved?
Yeah, it's much better. Like I used to be really stiff, and I didn't think I used to use any trunk defences. Like I just used to plough into people and not think about like what they're going to attack me with like afterwards. I just used to think of mowing them down and that, like charging them all the time. But now I think I'm more wary of people hitting me back than just ploughing straight in.
Sure. Okay, great stuff. And Connie, your physical goal, how do you think you developed yours?
Mine's flexibility. I think I've developed a little bit by when I wake up, stretching, after session stretching, before I go to bed. It majorly helps me with my backhand. Sometimes I just wouldn't twist my hips through or just wouldn't extend my backhand just because my whole right side of my body would be tight and it would take too long to do it.
Sure, you were a bit of a breeze blocker when you started, weren't you?
Yeah. So I've got a bit faster, I've been able to move, my knees being more flexible, I can hop up and down on.
And you have a natural bit of power behind you anyway, but your lack of flexibility has kind of negated your power because it's been pulling you back. But with that, working on your flexibility has let you accelerate a lot more in shots, and I can feel it on that backhand, especially as you mentioned there. Okay, that's great. So Alfie, tell us about your physical PAP and how you developed with that.
My physical PAP was my power. I think this is greatly improved through doing S&C and making things hard with the S&C, making it more explosive. Things like the crazy plates, the muscle stabilisation, that's really helped. And I could definitely feel it coming on the pads and bags and stuff. And I can definitely see through my 1 rep max, as when I first started the course, I was doing a 1 rep max of about 60 kilos, and now I'm on about 80 kilos. So it's gone up 20 kilos since I've been in the course. So that's definitely showing that I've got the strength and the power.
Okay, so a 33% rise in power there, which is massive. Okay, and so vital. Okay, yeah, so a lot of the stuff you have been doing, especially on the cycle 2, your S&C, the crazy plates, and just obviously if you're watching this video, essentially that is plates stuck to the bar, but via rope, so they actually move around, so it's actually working the stabilising muscles as well, to give a bit more sturdiness in the joints, rather than just one-dimensional linear power. So it's been working a lot on that, especially on the legs as well, so that's been fantastic. Okay, and Thoma, physically?
Physically is my stamina, and I developed my stamina more with using pads. There's a lot of work with pads.
Okay, also weight management was your physical goal?
Weight management? I think I manage better my weight now. Diet plan, running a lot, Yeah, good biking.
Can you give an example of the change in weight that's been happening over the last cycle?
More focus.
The loss of weight. Can you give me some figures of the loss of weight that you've experienced?
Biking.
You started at a certain amount of weight at the start of cycle 2. And you've lost a lot of kilos now.
I was 110, 99, 100.
Okay. So we lost about 10 kilos there, which is massive in one cycle. So that's good to see. Still needs to be a little. Okay, so from my point of view, that's great, fantastic. In terms of your motivation to doing that, you still need to make sure that you're monitoring it properly. Sometimes if you get into monitoring it, and setting yourself small goals to achieve all the time, which we have on the wall with a graph. So make sure we're doing that. So we're going to do that after this session as well, just to finish off the cycle. Okay. Right, and finally your mental goals, guys. So we'll start with Alfie. Can you tell us about your mental goal and the progress you've made?
My mental goal was my support. I felt I was alright at this anyway, but I wanted to make it more of a super strength. Stuff like organisation, preparing my stuff, meals, especially for after training, to get the food in for the 20-minute window. Also, just getting to the gym on time. Things like that. Just making sure I'm always on point with what I'm doing.
Okay, so a lot of self-management, preparation beforehand, make sure your equipment's always ready, and there's nothing that can stop you progressing because it's already prepared. Okay, completely agree with that, and that's been fantastic. Always on time, always have the equipment with you, and always organised with your food especially. Okay, that's great. Okay, moving across, Sam. So your mental goal, how do you think you progressed?
My mental goal is confidence. I think I've developed. This is the one that I've developed the most because I couldn't step in with just anyone in the ring. Like I got really nervous before, like even for sparring, but now I would happily get in with anyone my weight or below because you're never going to progress if you don't spar with different people at different levels of ability. Like if you spar someone better, then you have say I have my first bout, then they're not going to be any better than the person that has had, say, 7, 8 bouts. But I think that's the main thing that's developed the most.
Okay, and what tools have you used to help with your confidence?
I've used, at my club, I've been talking to my coach and he's set me up a few inter-club spars to help with my confidence with just people my weight, to get a bit of a taste of what my first bout will be like.
Okay, and what about what you sent me the other day?
I've been using the voice recordings to file my progress in confidence. I've told myself what I've improved on, and I've just kept improving. And now I've got about 6 or 7 recordings on my phone.
Fantastic. So good monitoring of your own feedback from a session. That's good science. So just making sure you're reinforcing good quality that you've been doing, and things that you've not been doing so well, just looking at it as a way to action point it and actually improve. Okay, so that's great. So I think you've improved massively in terms of your confidence. I think you've put a lot more into your boxing recently than you did in cycle 1, and started to become a boxer in cycle 2 rather than cycle 1. It kind of seemed like you were just here for the ride for a little bit, but now you're really sort of pushing it in and really kind of ready for your first bout now, which is great. So that's good that you're starting to take ownership of your confidence and your boxing ability as well. So well done there. Okay, Max, and your mental goal?
Yeah, mine is discipline. I think I've done really well the past few weeks because I had an injury. I was out for 2 or 3 weeks. I came back on it, ready to get myself prepared for another fight, and just training twice a day, on the weekdays, just keeping on top of that, just ready to box again. I was out for injury from my shoulder, but I'm just keeping on top, just making sure that I'm disciplining myself.
Absolutely, and still logging your S&C. So you've obviously been doing a lot, especially when you first got the injury, a lot more S&C where you're not being really able to throw your shoulder because it was a shoulder injury. And credit to you, you've been coming back in where a lot of people go, I'm injured now, so I can't do anything. Where you've actually used it as a positive, and now that you're, coming out of the woods from that injury slightly, you can get back into training a lot quicker. So it's not affecting, so you can be ready to box again sooner rather than much later because of your attitude and your discipline through the injury. Okay, so that's been fantastic. Okay, who we talked about mentally, Connor?
Mine was confidence as well, and I think I've improved massively on it, because any time I used to spar or have a pad session, even if I did well, I'd still like slag myself off saying it was awful, need to do better or something like that. And I improved it by like doing voice notes on my phone and making sure like even if like something did go bad, I'd say like, alright, what is the reason why I went bad? What can I do next time to improve that? Just and like turn it into a positive instead of being a massive negative. And I like realise when I have done something better, I can motivate myself for sessions and all stuff like that.
Absolutely. So it's how you appraise things, how you look at things. You can either appraise something as, oh, the world's collapsing in on me, or hold on, I've done this wrong. Here's an opportunity for me to develop, because I'm never going to get everything right the first time. Okay, so that's been a credit, and I've seen you do a couple of the voice recorders there, and been a lot more positive in your outcome. So I think it's just with you, just making sure you're very consistent with your approach to this, and very self-aware that if you do feel that you are getting yourself down, and you have the ability to say, hold on, that's not right, that's not professional, I'm going to change. I want to change how I appraise this situation and look at it as a positive and an area to improve. And I think you're really starting to do that. So that's fantastic. So good progress in cycle 2. And Thoma, and finally your mental PAP.
Is weight management. Weight management, yes.
Okay, so we've obviously talked about that slightly, but how do you think mentally you've approached dealing with getting your weight down?
Mentally, I feel better. That I think I can do it better. I can improve more things. I can train more.
Do you have a sense of achievement? The fact that you've lost 9-10 kilos?
Yeah.
Okay, and how does that make you feel now with your approach to the cycle 3, the fact that you've managed to achieve such a big weight loss?
Better, because I think I can do more. I can do more things. I can train more.
Okay, I actually completely agree with that. So, you know, it is a great thing, and I think it's going to mentally put you in a good stead for cycle 3. Although cycle 3 is a lot of a shorter one, I think it's going to put us in good stead to really approach that with positive attitude, knowing that the weight's going to come off, and therefore technically we're going to develop a lot quicker as well. Okay, great cycle 2, guys. So well done. Cycle 3 is about to start now. We're just doing the preparation for that and our performance profiling, and look forward to the improvements upon cycle 3. Okay, so well done.